If Team Elite wins, they will get to choose the additional stipulation for War Games at Hardcore Hell. Introducing first, representing the Elite and accompanied by Jeff G. Bailey, at a total combined weight of 1,307 pounds, the team of Jagged Edge, the Deadly Sin 7, the Anarchy Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, the Temptation Shaun Tempers, and Nemesis and Shadow Jackson, the Urban Assault Squad.
10-man tag team action, your main event this week. 2,377 and 1/3 pound. Over a ton of humanity in the ring right now, not including referee Brent Wiley or Jeff G. Bailey out on the floor. The average weight of these superstars, John the Body Johnson, 237 pounds.
Wow, that's how much you eat in a day.
Well, this is our main event, and big ramifications in this one.
Huge ramifications.
Maybe even huge ramifications, if you will.
Ramifications, I like it. Because right now, when the Elite win this match, they will get to name an additional stipulation at War Games. Right now, we know that aside from it being War Games, we know the stipulation is that if Team Anarchy wins, then any member of Team Anarchy will get 5 minutes in the cage with Jerry Palmer. I, for one, am very interested to hear what the stipulation that Team Elite is going to come up with once they win this match. And then once we get to War Games here at the end of March, it's going to be huge. You know, let me tell you something. Hardcore Hell, it is not just an Anarchy tradition. It is a tradition for this building. It is a tradition that actually goes beyond this building. I believe that this is going to be the 17th annual Hardcore Hell. Started in North Carolina, came here, and has been going on. It is a summer, or a springtime, Southeastern wrestling tradition.
It is, and it'll be coming here in just a few weeks. You know, I made mention of the numbers here with the weights and everything. I said the average weight of a superstar in here is 237 pounds. Believe it or not, looking at the numbers, 237 pounds is the difference between the two total combined weights of these two teams. Team Elite has the 237 pounds. They almost have a one-person advantage in this match.
Well, I mean, you know, you take a look over there. I mean, you've got big men on that team. You got Jagged Edge and Seven. I mean, those are huge monsters. When you look at the other team, you've got the Universal Soldier, Bryan Casanova, who's a big guy in his own right. I mean, that's the biggest guy on this team. But let me explain out one thing. Yes, Team Elite has the advantage in size. Team Elite has the advantage in smarts because you have Jeff G. Bailey. But one thing you have over here that is almost an equalizer is the experience of Brodie Ray Chase. His experience in wrestling dates back to the 1800s.
Well, I don't know about that, but look how quickly the Temptation Shaun Tempers tagged out when the Universal Soldier Bryan Casanova was tagged into the match.
Well, I mean, that's his prerogative. You know, that's the kind of game you play with this. I mean, yeah, Bryan Casanova, a big guy. I'll give him a lot of credit, served this country. There's not a lot between the ears. I mean, that guy right there, I mean, he's a musclehead. Are you kidding me?
That musclehead's a former Anarchy Wrestling Tag Team Champion.
Oh, okay. And Shaun Tempers is a former Anarchy Tag Team Champion. He's a former Anarchy Television Champion 2 times. He's a he's a current Anarchy Heavyweight Champion 2 times for that as well. So, what's your point there, Wolverton?
I'm saying there's a lot of gold that's passed through the hands of the superstars in this match. Take a look at Team Anarchy. Brodie Chase, a former heavyweight champion. Azrael and Slim J, former tag team champions. Azrael, a former heavyweight champion. Seth, a former television champion. Casanova, former tag team champion with Slim J.
Well, and I'll tell you this right now, Slim J is also in this matchup, you talk about championships, Slim J is the only Grand Slam winner, not just for Anarchy, but he is also has held every championship that has ever appeared in this building. Any championship
you're right. I know you're trying to avoid back to the Wild Side days. You're correct.
But there's no slouches on this side either. You've got the Urban Assault Squad, Nemesis and Shadow, the most decorated team in Anarchy history. You've got Shaun Tempers, another man who has held just about every championship in Anarchy with the exception of the Young Lions title. You've got Se7en, a former Anarchy heavyweight champion, and you've got a man who's just chomping at the bit, the Jagged Edge.
Jagged Edge, I'm sure, would love to be a champion here at Anarchy. We found out that at Hardcore Hell, Jacoby Boykin's getting another shot at the television championship. I'm sure if he doesn't get it at Hardcore Hell, Jagged Edge could be right behind trying to get a shot at Billy Buck.
And right now, you got Brodie Chase in there with Shadow Jackson. And, like I said, Brodie Chase, his years of experience, that he's been able to, pass on to the younger men on his team, it's been invaluable. I'll give him that. But one thing you got to remember, Jeff G. Bailey is a student of the sport of wrestling. This man has managed former world champions before they were world champions. He's led men to world tag team titles. He's led men to every single championship from the Wild Side days to the Anarchy days in this building. This man has had dozens and dozens and dozens of champions in his stable. He knows how to bred winners, and that's what he does here with Team Elite. He has breeded a bunch of winners. He has brought them together. They will be victorious tonight, and in just 3 weeks, they will be victorious at Hardcore Hell in the War Games. The Elite have never lost a War Games match.
Now, with your close association with the Elite, we know that if they're victorious here tonight, they get to choose a stipulation. Have you had any discussions with Jeff G. Bailey over what this could be, what the stipulation might be?
Let me tell you something. Jeff G. Bailey and I, we are good friends. We are business associates as well. But when it comes to things of this matter, Jeff G. Bailey and I do not discuss that type of business. I respect the fact that he keeps information like that close to the hip, because you never know who's listening. You never know who's going to dime you out. Now, I trust Jeff G. Bailey. He trusts me. But I have no idea of what's going to happen here when the Elite win. But as you see right there, the teamwork of Azrael and Slim J, no doubt in my mind that whatever it is that Jeff G. Bailey has planned, it's going to be monumental, it's going to come to fruition, and it's going to be something that will shock and rock the wrestling world.
Well, we'll find out if the Team Elite is victorious tonight, what their additional stipulation will be for Hardcore Hell. We already know that Team Anarchy says if they win at War Games, one member of Team Anarchy will get Jerry Palmer, our general manager, inside the steel cage as Slim J goes for the cover. I hate to distract away from Hardcore Hell, talking about this great 10-man tag this week, but what about the recuperative efforts of our senior official, Brent Wiley? His arm is magically healed since just a few minutes ago.
No. First of all, what you've got to understand about Brent Wiley is he plays with pain. His arm, he's got pain shooting through his arm, but he doesn't need a cortisone shot. He doesn't need any of that miracle medicine. He's a trooper.
Beautiful maneuver there by the Temptation, Shaun Tempers. I hate to cut you off, but Slim J was getting ready to go for a flying head scissor. The Temptation grabbed hold of the head of Slim J and just stunned him on that top rope. Slim J may have suffered a serious injury. To my surprise, he's able to get back up to his feet, but Brodie Chase in there, not the legal man. Slim J is the legal man.
Slim J, to his credit, has suffered many serious injuries in this building, in this sport, in that very ring. and he always finds a way to bounce back. You know, it's always been in the back of his mind. I know it has to because it's always been in the back of mine. Which injury is going to be his last? Which is going to be the one that finally closes the door, closes the chapter on the career of Slim J? Because anybody will tell you, I mean, I can read doctor books, okay? They'll tell you your body's not supposed to take that kind of punishment.
Well, I've talked to a lot of the superstars, and they have what's almost referred to as a bump card. The body only can take so many bumps and bruises before you're done. The body can't take any more. With the high-risk moves that Slim J does in the match, and especially the impact of a clothesline like that by the Jagged Edge, that takes another bump off that card.
And the thing is, Slim J's card has got to be close to being maxed out with the concussions. And right there, look at that elbow by the Jagged Edge that he just drove right into the throat and sternum area of Slim J. And now tags in the huge Monster 7, former Anarchy heavyweight champion, a man that made his debut here in the Anarchy Arena a couple of years ago under the tutelage of Jeff G. Bailey. I'll never forget the first night I saw him. The man was a beast. He blocked out the sun, so to speak. And I mean, that's been another calling card of Jeff G. Bailey throughout his career. Finding these monsters, these abnormalities of humanity. These men that, you know, hover anywhere from 6'4", 6'7", 6'11", you know, weighing anywhere from 260 to 300 pounds. And he takes them and he's able to control them. And he's able to bred them into champions like he's done Seven. And right there, look at that. Illegal rake to the face by Slim J.
Brodie Chase tries to take a swipe at the Deadly Sin also. Just powering him over into the corner. The Elite tag made Nemesis in.
Now, you know, usually in most tag team matches, what you're going to do is you're going to cut the ring in half. Whenever you're in one of these 10-man tag team matches, you actually have to cut the ring a little bit more. You're going to have to cut it into about a third, which is what they've done. You know, there's not as much room to work with here because you do have bodies strewn throughout the ring.
You're very right. Each corner has two guys on either side of the ropes, which leaves a very thin strip in the middle of the ring as kind of a neutral zone.
And right now, Shadow Jackson has done the right thing, using his body to block out the other two men with the sleeper hold, knowing that the reach is not there. He's got Slim J in the center of the ring, but just out of arm's reach of his team.
Shadow Jackson looking almost like a man possessed. He was looking up into the heavens. Big elbow by Shadow Jackson, taking Slim J back down to the mat, and he wisely leans over and tags in the heavyweight champion, Shaun Tempers.
Shadow Jackson, of course, himself a former Anarchy heavyweight champion, tagging in that current Anarchy heavyweight champion. And one thing I was going to point out that Shadow Jackson did there with that elbow is he turned his body into Slim J. That produced that buffer zone, that blocking. And then when Slim J hits the mat, Shadow Jackson immediately grabbed the foot to drag him back into their third of the ring and tagged out to the heavyweight champion, Shaun Tempers. That right there, that's brilliance. That is knowing your wrestling. That is being, you know, a champion like Shadow Jackson has. You know, with his partner Nemesis, the Urban Assault Squad, excuse me. But no doubt, I think Jeff G. Bailey has been helping bring that along a little bit too.
They held the tag team championship for quite some time, losing them just a couple of weeks ago to the Movement, Narcissism, and the Vandal. And I'm sure they would love to get another shot at those tag team titles.
Urban Assault Squad, 4-time Anarchy Tag Team Champions. They are also a tournament that, you know, is no longer held here in Anarchy, but they were the only 2-time winners of the Mysterious Benefactor Memorial Cup, winning that prestigious trophy twice. And right now, punishing Slim J. And, you know, Nemesis, let me tell you something. Nemesis is nothing to mess with. This man right here is aggressive, he's angry, and he has deceptive power. You know, and right now Slim J
Beautiful missile drop kick by Slim J, taking Nemesis down. He is literally at the feet of Brodie Chase. If he just sits up, he should be able to tag the straight cat.
And right now,
there are 4 guys that are hungry to get the tag.
And I was about to say Nemesis wisely goes over and gets Slim J, but Slim J had just enough in the tank. And right now, Azrael and Slim J going to town on the Urban Assault Squad. Unorthodox tag team wrestling here by the team of Slim J and Azrael.
But it is what has helped them excel as a tag team, those great tandem offense maneuvers.
For so many years here in the Anarchy Arena, Azrael and Slim J had wars. They had wars that left both men in the hospital for days. They had wars that literally took not years off their career, we're talking about years off their life. And then to harness that power, to harness that aggression into a successful tag team, Slim J and Azrael, former tag team champions, have come a long way. And they realized that they could take that aggression towards each other, put it on other people, and be successful.
You talk about that history. Slim J and Azrael were the first 2 wrestlers to ever compete in a barbed wire match here at Anarchy, and they were also in the second ever barbed wire match where they lost the tag team championship to the Urban Assault Squad.
And right now, 2 men that are at opposite ends of the spectrum. You can't get more polarized than this. The Deadly Sin 7 and Seth Delay. The size difference, the style difference, and right now Seth Delay's taking it to the Deadly Sin 7.
You saw Seth Delay duck the clothesline of the Deadly Sin 7. He almost didn't have to duck. The height difference, he could have gone right over his head.
Seth Delay has always found himself maybe one of the smaller men in a match, but definitely on this scale, it's a lot different. As a former Anarchy television champion, he knows what the gold tastes like. He's a former Anarchy tag team champion, as Seth Delay. And right now, just being pulverized by the Deadly Sin. Oh, ducks the kick! And is right there, just mere inches from his corner.
That top rope may have hit mere inches from other important parts of the Deadly Sin 7.
And right now, Seth Delay, rather than going for a tag, just wants to take advantage of this situation from the Deadly Sin 7.
You know, Seven's never been known as being one of the happiest superstars on the Anarchy Wrestling roster. I imagine after that assault on the lower part of the anatomy, he's going to be even more upset as he has Seth Delay by the throat, picks him up, knee to the midsection and the knees.
Seth Delay trying to break down the monster, but falls right back in the arms, and looks like we got a bear hug here. The Deadly Sin 7 just squeezing, but he has Seth Delay a little too close to the head.
Certainly does.
And he was biting him.
It got him out of the hold, but look, now that he's out of the hold, he was right into the waiting's arms of Shadow Jackson. And Brent Wiley doing his best to get him out of the ropes.
He has a 5 count.
Well, there wasn't even a count being made.
Well, first you got to give the warning, right? And then you got to, give the warning, after the warning to warn about the count.
Is this that referee's discretion stuff you and I keep talking about?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's definitely, we keep talking about. We haven't talked in 9 months.
I'm sorry.
By the way, where's Timmy D?
I'm beginning to wonder that myself. This is what, the 3rd or 4th week he hasn't been here.
I don't like him either.
Well, I know. He was, he pretty much cost you a spot here, didn't he? I mean,
I retired. I took my money and I left. I ran.
You ran, I took your spot, I took your money. How did you live on this, by the way?
Endorsements.
Endorsements, yeah.
Endorsements and investments.
How is that Bojangles deal treating you?
Pretty good.
10-man tag team match, your main event this week on Anarchy. Brent Wolverton, joined by two-time Georgia Wrestling History Announcer of the Year, John the Body Johnson. Again, the stipulations in this one, the Elite getting to choose an additional stipulation for War Games at Hardcore Hell if they're victorious this week on Anarchy.
You know, I think the stipulation should be, if I was Jeff G. Bailey, when Team Elite wins here tonight, and when Team Elite wins at War Games, the stipulation should be every member of Team Elite gets 5 minutes in the cage with you.
With me?
With you.
I have no beef with the Elite. Shadow Jackson has had a beef with
you got
me
a lot
for
of
the
beef.
better. I don't. All right, I'll give one to John the Body Johnson on that one.
Shadow Jackson giving it to Seth Delay here. They've got him backed up in the Elite side of town. You know, that's a good place to be. The Elite side of town.
Well, it's running out of room on that side with these powerhouses that Jeff G. Bailey continues to find. Bear hug applied by Shadow Jackson. Jagged Edge mocking Seth Delay.
I like Jagged Edge. He's a nice guy.
That's a nice guy.
Yeah. I mean, every member of the Elite, nice guys. Chef G. Bailey, the nicest guy I know.
Jagged Edge in the ring. Jagged Edge has been acting almost in a security bodyguard role for General Manager Jerry Palmer in recent weeks.
Could you think of any better security than Jagged Edge?
Well, have you seen this massive big hurt Jeter that's with the Elite?
Obviously,
I have.
Yes, I have.
475 pounds this man is.
Yes, that's huge. That's about a half of you.
That's Slim J, Azrael, and maybe Joey Reimer in one mass of humanity.
He is a mass, and he is dangerous, and he is deadly. I told you, while I'm sitting down at the beach house, you know, sipping on some Hennessy and Coke, looking at the beach, I do watch Anarchy Wrestling still. Keep my ear to the ground. I still talk to Jeff G. Bailey on a regular basis. Jerry Palmer.
Obviously you're talking to Jerry Palmer because you're back here this week.
Let me tell you something. Jerry's coming down to the beach house. You can come, but you're not invited.
Tag made, great move by Shaun Tempers, and you see him drop down to his knees. That keeps Seth Delay from being able to move as Nemesis comes in.
Trying to live like Charlie Taylor, buddy.
You're dressing like Charlie Sheen.
Nothing wrong with the way I look. I'm sexy and I know it. Right now, Nemesis got the headlock right there on Seth Delay, trying to get what little bit of life may be left. Oh, and listen to this. These idiots.
The Anarchy faithful here in Cornelia, Georgia, cheering for Seth Delay. You know, fans, if you want to be a part of the action, we encourage you to come down here to the Church of Southern Wrestling. The second, fourth Saturday of every month. Get your tickets. Be here live if you can. If it's in your area, check us out on television. Big tag made to Universal Soldier. Bryan Casanova going up against Jagged Edge. Brent Wiley almost got in the way of the action. Reversal by Jagged Edge sends Casanova in. Gets out of the way. Fireman's carry. Down. Goes for the cover. Nemesis in to break up the count.
You know, Bryan Casanova is one of these guys that I know very well, too. You know, I mean, it's, you know, I remember when Bryan Casanova was a member of the Elite.
Beautiful tandem move by the former tag team champions, Slim J and Azrael on Nemesis. Shadow Jackson comes in, throws Azrael out of the ring. Clothesline, turns Slim J inside out. Shadow sending Slim J out to the floor, going out after him. The Deadly Sin 7 and Bryan Casanova now. Seth Delay's in the ring. Takes the shot.
Oh, wait a minute. He had the knucks. He had the breath.
I didn't see any knucks.
Oh, come on. Look at that prescription glasses you got.
I think Stephen Walter still has my prescription glasses from Season's Beating.
So those.
It is all broken down. Low blow by the Temptation. Out of the view of Brent Wiley.
You know, with those glasses you're wearing, some states you get a 10% deposit back on them.
Neck breaker. Cover 1, 2, 3.
The winners of the bout, earning the right to choose an additional stipulation for the War Games match at Hardcore Hell, Team Elite.
Team Elite win the matchup and they get to name their stipulation. Is Jeff G. Bailey going to indulge us now? Are we going to get to know?
Well, we may find out what the stipulation is going to be.
Team Anarchy looking a little worse for wear. And this definitely does not help your psyche going into War Games, losing a 10-man.
Hey, don't rush off too quick, losers!
Would you shut up? Jeff G. Bailey's talking.
You know, I could be a jerk like you, Brodie Chase, and make you wait to find out what the stipulation is, but I'm not some dirty yellow dog like you, so I'll let you know right here and right now what the stipulation is. And that's when the Elite win the War Games. Franklin Dove is finished, and complete ownership of Anarchy goes back to Jerry Palmer, and we get things back the way they should be.
What a huge stipulation, John the Body Johnson. Jeff G. Bailey says if Team Elite wins, they get total control.
Get used to it.
I can't wait.
Well, we'll find out whose stipulation will prevail in the War Games at Hardcore Hell. That coming up in just a few weeks. Fans, we hope you've enjoyed Anarchy. For my broadcast colleague, the returning John the Body Johnson.
I'll see you in 9 months.
I'm Brent Wolverton, and we'll see you next week.